Hi everyone, Tim Brown. Welcome back to another episode of my Apple Podcast. As you could tell from my previous episode, I'm pretty excited about iOS 7, and rightfully so. There are so many exciting new features. And I think from here on out, I'm going to offer a series of episodes that cover specific features that come with iOS 7. For this short episode, I'm going to cover the Photos app because there are some new features this time around. So let's take a look. I'm going to go into Settings first, and I'm going to go to Photos, or Photos and Camera, and you'll see that you have several options: My Photo Stream, Photo Sharing, Summarize Photos, and so forth. I don't have Photo Stream selected because I don't want my photos stored in iCloud right now, so I have that turned off. Photo Sharing, though, I have turned on. This is the ability to share photos online with others. I'm going to show you how to do that. Then there's Summarize Photos. There's also the option to set up settings for a slideshow. This works particularly well with, say, Apple TV. If you want to use AirPlay to stream your photos via Apple TV, you can do that by controlling the seconds, the transitions, and so forth. There's also Grid. Grid is a nice option because it's great for framing your shots. And I'm going to go into that in more detail when I get my new phone, my iPhone 5S gold color. I'm going to show you all the things that are associated with the camera when I get that. And then there's Keep Normal Photo. When you select that, when you're using the HDR function, it will save the original as well as the HDR photo. I tend to keep the space down on my photos, which is why I have Photo Stream and Keep Normal Photo turned off. I don't want to accumulate too many photos. So it's good to go into settings first before you start planning how you're going to use your Photos app. So now let's go to the Photos app itself. Now you'll see that this time around you have a different architecture. It's very similar to iPhoto for the desktop. When Apple, for example, first came out with Events. Events was to be interpreted as a group of photos taken with your camera that are then grouped together at the same time. You can then go through, categorize those in the form of albums. Well, this is kind of similar. Here we have moments instead, and the moments are set up according to the date and time in which they were taken. And then there's a larger hierarchy. So if you tap on Collections in the top left, then all of a sudden the grouping is expanded to a much larger category. And then if you select Years, then you can see that the photos are then pushed to an entire year, and it's so tiny that you can barely see them. But if you had a chance to see the keynote address, you would know that if you just take your finger, press down on Years, and just go across, you can actually browse each photo that way. And once you find the photo that you're looking for, release it, and it opens that photo. So that's a nice option to have as far as the UI goes. And if you want to go back and forth between categories, you just simply tap once, and it'll take you back. Tap again, and then you're back to Moments. Okay, let's go ahead and explore the options we have along the bottom. So we've been in the Photos mode. Also along the bottom is the Shared mode, and then there's Albums. Let's go ahead and select Shared. When Shared is selected, you can go ahead and set up a shared stream that you can share with someone else. This is a great way of setting up a very private sort of stream that you want to share some photos with without having to share them to the whole entire world. For example, if you wanted to post them to Facebook. And you would do that by just simply creating a new stream. You give the new stream a name, and you click Next. And you're then prompted to email that stream to the person who you want to share them with. A link will come with that message, and they'll be able to click on the link and then view the stream. When you're done, then you just click Create, and the stream has been created. If you want to edit a stream, you just simply click Edit and delete. Then you're done. It's really that simple. It's actually very easy to delete photos when they're in the iCloud photo stream So on the one hand, it's nice to have them as a backup. On the other hand, it's very easy to get rid of them. Okay, let's now go into how we share photos. You'll see that there's an option on the top right. It's called Select. You go ahead and just choose Select. And with Select pressed down, you can then go through your photos and then select which ones you want to share or send to someone. So I can go through and just select photos here, and then you'll see I have several options at the bottom, or a couple options. I can select Add To, and then I can add those photos to a new album if I like. Or you'll see there's another faint little icon, and this is an icon that you're going to see throughout iOS as app developers begin to integrate their offerings into the infrastructure of iOS. This little icon is always going to appear. When you select on that icon, it's going to give you all those options for sharing. And you'll get this same menu will appear throughout the other apps. So you'll see you have an option to send a message. You can send those photos by email. So if I was to select email, you'll see that the photos are inserted inside the message, and I can now send those photos via email. Select that icon again. If I wanted to send them to iCloud, I can do the same thing. And you can see once again I'm prompted with setting up a stream. Select the icon one more time. You see I also have the option to share them to Facebook. And if you're someone who's really into sharing photos to Facebook, this is actually a nice option, because not only can you leave a comment along with the photos, but you can actually choose which album you want to share them to. And I have so many albums, it's just nice having this option available. And you may have noticed too that Apple has now partnered a lot more closely with Yahoo, more so than Google this time around. And so if you select that same icon, you see you have an option for Flickr. And you have to make sure that you are logged into your Flickr account through the Settings tab before you do this. And once you're set up, you see you also have the option on Flickr to save them to a photo set that's already on Flickr. So a lot of nice options there. Okay, let's explore some more options. So if I click on that same icon, you'll see along the bottom I have two options. I can print those photos if I want to do that, or I can copy them. Essentially, when you copy photos from any application that offers this feature, it saves them to what's called the clipboard. It's an imaginary space that temporarily holds on to those images until you decide to paste them somewhere. They will stay there until you decide to paste. So, for example, I'm going to copy these photos, and I'm going to go ahead and locate my Photo Manager app. It's called Photo Manager Pro. I'm going to go ahead and open that application. And I have a little photo album here, just called it Photos. I'm going to go ahead and open that. And just like in the photo application, in this application I have the option to select. So I'm going to press select in the top right hand corner. That opens up another menu for me. And what I'm going to select now, and this is unique to this application, is Actions. And after selecting that, you'll see I have an option that says iOS Paste. Again, this is unique to Photo Manager Pro. You won't see this in all the other applications, but you do see some of the similarities. I'm going to go ahead and select that. And it's now going to grab those images that I saved to my clipboard and going to import them right into this album. So that's another nice option to have when saving photos. So as you can see, there's a lot of fun you can have with the Photos application. Of course, it's even better once you have a new iPhone 5S with a new camera, because that comes with burst mode, video slow motion features, just a whole lot of new features that are going to be really exciting about the new phone. So when I get it, I'm going to go over those features with the camera and demonstrate how they intersect with the Photos app. I hope this short episode was helpful. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of my Apple Podcast. As I promised, every episode I'm going to feature artwork, and what you're looking at here is an artwork that I created with Bazaart. Once again, it's a collage app made for the iPad and the iPhone. I would be glad to feature artwork by you. If you want to send me something in, send it to myapplepodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, see you later.